Hi guys, today we're going to take a look at the Juggernaut seal in the Ferumbras Ascendance hunting ground for a level 600 plus monk. So overall, I would say this place is not really that great. I've hunted it a fair amount, and even with charms, the results really are not good enough to recommend it as some great hunting spot. So I would say this is basically a bestiary spot. However, it is a pretty nice bestiary spot. You will do some, reasonable experience, some reasonable profit. So yeah, and it's also kind of fun. I don't know why, but I really enjoy this spot. Just like lore wise, I don't know. I really always like the layout and the monsters here. I always enjoyed that, even though the results are not so good. So yeah, difficulty I give it is about 8.5 out of 10, which is high. However, this is not like it doesn't mean like you're gonna get a headshot or anything like that. The problem is there's a lot of monsters that are quite fast moving, which means that it's possible to get yourself trapped. If you get yourself 8-boxed in this place, you're basically dead. That's the difficulty where it comes from. Outside of that, it's not that difficult. It's not like when you're kiting, they don't deal that much damage. They're not ranged. They're not going to headshot you from distance. Nothing like that. You just kind of have to be aware of the layout of the room you're in and make sure you don't get yourself trapped. That's it. Nothing here paralyzes. So unlike on the dragon seal, you're not in any risk of getting paralyzed and just like dying because of that. But nonetheless, it is a little bit tense. You have to be always focused not to get 8-boxed because that is a death sentence. But a bestiary will take about 13 hours for Juggernaut, 17 hours for Hellflayers, and about 15 hours for Vex Claws. Obviously, Juggernaut is the monster to do here. If you don't have it done, the Hellflayers and Vex Claws you'll likely do at some other seals anyway. But yeah, if you care about Juggernauts, this is the place to go. With regards to requirements, I recommend level 600 plus. Like I already mentioned before, that it's really quite tricky to do enough damage. Oh, and before I move on, I just wanted to mention the results, right? Obviously, it's about 5.3 kk raw and expected at about 800k per hour. With regards to the analyzer, as you can see in here, I have the one on the left was like before charms, I think. So I was in like 5.3, 5.4 in peaking. And then when I had the charms, I actually didn't go up all that much. So I'm quite surprised to see that. I think maybe this was like a real peak or something of the experience, and this was just standard. Either way, once you account for animals, you're probably looking about 5.3 kk raw. The charms obviously here make things a lot easier, especially on Juggernaut and Hellflayers. They have tons of health. Having charms will help a lot. Anyway, going back to the requirements section. So like I said, 600 plus. Feru Ascension quest, you'll need to do the Juggernaut access quest. This is you'll have to kill to go to the area which I will recommend you hunt. You will need to do the task of killing I believe it's the mini boss called the Shatterer, which you can do solo, by the way. So this is something you can do solo to get the access to it. But yeah, it only takes a few minutes. It's not too bad. With regards to who can hunt here, Monk can hunt here due to the chitin playstyle that they have, and it's actually okay with its energy weapon. Knights and Paladins can probably do it as well. Knights, I think, will struggle a lot because they can't kite. Paladins, Paladins are probably a yes. I don't know if it's going to be any good, though, really, for a Paladin. So maybe like a really high level. Mages, I don't think so. However, this is a pretty good duo and full team hunt spot. I've hunted here before, and it's actually okay. So if you want to, if you're like level 4, 500 and you want to do an interesting team hunt, this is quite a cool place. All standard imbues were necessary. No protection imbue really necessary. Fire damage would be the best one, probably not needed though. Recommended weapon type is energy. Supplies per hour for me was about 1500 ultimates per hour, 6 transcendence potions. For the charms, I recommend Zap on Juggernaut, Divine Wrath on Hellflay, and Freeze on Vexclaw. For the wheel, tier 2 ascetic or tier 2 outburst would serve you well. Here, they're probably the best wheels for the solo hunting. I use tier 2 ascetic. Obviously, it may change with regards to balance changes in the future. Any leftover points should go into lesser gems, ideally with flat hit points. And the character you'll see in the video is actually 567 monk with 113 first and 48 magic level. So it is doable even at a lower level, but I think 600 plus is better. So for the route, you come in here. And actually, something to keep in mind, you come in through here, and by far the hardest pull that you're going to do is if you come in here and just do this pull. It's very, very, very tricky. There's quite a lot of them, and not actually that much room to kite around in here. So what I actually often do, I don't remember if I did it in the video that I recorded that you're going to see it soon, but what I actually sometimes do, I go through here, and I just quickly run through, and I skip this initial pull to start with. And I'll go through here, and I do my first pull like in here. This is a bunch of Vex claws in this little pull. So that's one pull. Then I'll go through here and do my second pull in here. And I go through here and I do a big pull in here. And you'll notice I'm doing very big circles for the pulls because the play style here is basically just running in a big lap with about 20 monsters chasing you until they die. You can find little spots where you can finish off in like a wall box once you're down to like the last 5, 6. You can figure it out yourself. There's a few places that you can do that. Yeah, afterwards I go up here. And I usually do actually kind of like this to pull out all the monsters from here, go in here. And here you've got a pretty big one as well. So you can consider splitting that in two as well, like doing maybe a smaller pull in here. Then once you're down to like 3 or 4 monsters, you can go up here and do this one. Then I'll go through, pull everything out, and usually do... I don't remember where it was exactly. I think it may have been the next pull. I would maybe do like here on the wall or here on the wall. Maybe here on the wall. And this actually pulls out a few of the monsters from here so that when you finish this pull in here, you can then go in here and do your pull in here. And it's actually easier because if you came in here, like I said, when you first come in here for the teleport and you just come in here for this pull in here, there's so many and so little room to run. It's actually tricky. So I do think that, first lap, you kind of just do the whole lap and you kill off a few of them here. And then you can go in here and it's actually okay and it's doable. There's not too many. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. That's my advice. Want to avoid getting overrun because yeah, they do a lot of damage if you get trapped. But otherwise, it's okay. Like I said, there's no paralyzers, no ranged monsters. That makes it fairly easy if you can manage the kiting and the running around. And yeah, anyway, that's all I have for you today, guys. It's an okay spot. Definitely not super great. It's okay bestiary. Yeah, and I like this spot anyway, just because I have like a soft spot for it for some reason. Anyways, I'll play the rest of the video now. So if you have any questions, let me know. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.